On the York Hill campus of Quinnipiac University, I'm Morey Hershgordon here for Q30 Television, joined alongside of Chereace Marcellin. Chereace, you are the president of the NAACP chapter here at Quinnipiac. Thank you for joining us.
No, of course.
So in wake of kind of all of what's happened around the country, even around Quinnipiac for the last week or two, there's current protests going on now down on the Mount Carmel campus. What do you kind of have to say about these protests and why these protesters are there?
I think the protest is kind of just in response to getting the school to do more, maybe get more support from President Leahy. I know in wake of the recent events happening, the school has done a lot to kind of put plans in place to make sure that that kind of thing does not happen again, and they've done a very good job, I would say. But now the students kind of want to make, everyone on this campus aware and kind of bring more light to the situation and make sure that, it doesn't happen again at all. So,
why do you guys feel like this is such an important matter here at Quinnipiac, and why haven't you had some of those, the feedback and the support from maybe some higher officials here on campus?
I think a lot of students, especially minorities going to a predominantly white institution, they haven't felt comfortable on this campus for as long as I can remember. And, in the past we've dealt with a lot of race issues on this campus that have we felt like they've been swept under the rug. I know not a lot of it has, but there hasn't been any response to a lot of the things that students have been trying to do in the past. So I think with this incident happen, it was kind of just in everybody's faces, and we kind of had to confront it and do something about it. So yeah, that's.
So this issue that you're talking about is about the recent Snapchat issue in which a student had an exfoliating cream face on, and one of her roommates posted on Snapchat a picture of her and captioned it Black Lives Matter. But before we get to that, you said you talked about maybe Quinnipiac sweeping some things under the rug.
Yeah.
In the past, what has Quinnipiac, in your mind, swept under the rug, and how should they have handled it?
I don't have any on the top of my head specific events because, those pertain to different students. Is just talking, just to keep that anonymous. I know students have dealt with race issues on campus, and they have maybe, gone to someone higher up, and it may not have been handled in the best way, but I know the school recognizes that now, and I'm glad they do, and they're trying to do their best to work with students when it comes to things like that and making sure that everyone has an outlet to go to.
Chereace, do you have any past interactions with any white students on campus? Any students that don't associate themselves with colored people? Have you had any of those interactions?
Yes, I have. Not sure if I want to bring it up on camera, but yeah, my freshman year, I've had people make comments in reference to my race, just like random being on the shuttle, and then in your classes in general, whenever we bring up race relations, you have students, it's good to share different perspectives, but sometimes it makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable when it's kind of something in relation to, your race or humanity. So, yeah. And
you feel Quinnipiac just has not helped you guys at all, you personally, as a minority?
I feel like some things have been been brought up to higher up powers, and maybe they did try to handle it, but we haven't heard about it. And I feel like that's the biggest issue, getting recognition for things. If a lot of students are bringing up an issue, and then it kind of dies down and we kind of don't hear what happens about it after, it kind of feels like, nothing has been done about it. So that's what I want to change moving forward.
So walk me through some of those steps when you guys say you go to the upper administration here at Quinnipiac. What are some of those steps, and what has their response been to you? And is it you give them a phone call, you email them, and then they just don't let you know how it ended? Or
I know a lot of students last semester put together a proposal of kind of changes we want to see within the next coming years, and we wanted it to go up towards the highest officer you can think of, Mark Thompson, Leahy, whoever. And I was very excited about that proposal last semester. We had a lot of good ideas, a lot of programs that we can put forward to kind of educate students on this campus. And I don't know what happened since then. I know, they're putting together, implementing things in our classes, and that's as far as I know. The other stuff on the proposal, I don't know how it went, and they could have handled it, but I'm not sure what exactly they did, and that's something that I would like to know.
Q30 is joined alongside Chereace Marcellin, the president of the NAACP chapter here at Quinnipiac. Chereace, what were some of those things in those documents that you sent to the upper administration that you just referenced?
Maybe getting like social justice classes for students, something mandatory to get students engaged and to get students educated about things going around, not just Quinnipiac, but just the nation in general in light of recent events. I can't remember everything from the top of my head. I had a copy of the proposal last semester, getting faculty educated, and I think those things that we said are being planned. So I'm happy with that. Having a better outlet for students, if they do, come across like a race issue, they have somewhere to go, somebody to talk to, and I know a lot of students feel like they haven't had that in the past.
Chereace, does Quinnipiac give the NAACP the resources, whether it's financially or just spots on campus, space on campus, as well as faculty members, advisors? Do they give you enough?
As far as support, we have that with DCGE, Department of Cultural and Global Engagement. So we have an advisor and we have a couple of faculty members who really helps us and supports us. The finances are available if we do want to do something on campus and we don't have the finances for it, we can apply for more. So that's great.
So what else are you looking from the Department of Cultural and Global Engagement?
As far as support, we have been receiving a lot of support from them. Financially, they do have a lot in place for us to kind of progress on campus and succeed. They support us with anything that we want to do going forward. I know specifically from the school we want more, so we're working to get a multicultural center on campus, just because there's a lot of organizations that have their own physical space on campus, SGA, Greek Life, the Faith. So we're working to get, just like a physical space for us to kind of come together, because that we've been seeing a gap between the multicultural organizations kind of communicating. So we feel that having that physical space will help us better.
In what ways will that space help you?
Just communicating in general. If there's an issue, we have somewhere to go. If we want to work with another organization on something, say, hey, meet in the Multicultural Center, things like that.
Quite the whirlwind this past week with the Snapchat going viral. Who is to blame?
I don't think there's, I'm trying to figure out the best way to answer this. I don't want to blame the school because, this, was one student. This was the incident of one student, and I think the school handled it pretty well. I don't want to put blame on anybody. I hope going forth, everyone, the school, the students involved can learn from this. And they can educate themselves and at least understand why they were wrong in doing what they did, or doing what she did. Yeah, so I don't want to put the blame on anyone.
So doing what she did, that's the person that took the picture?
Yes.
In your eyes, or the person that was in the picture?
The person that took the picture. I know the person that was in the picture, she didn't have anything to do with it. She wasn't aware of it. I'm not going to put blame on her. She did the right thing in going to public safety when she heard about it. So we appreciate that. So.
We had an exclusive interview with Sarah Goodrich a couple days ago, and did you get an opportunity to see that?
Yes, I did.
And what were your thoughts about her and her message to say that she's not racist at all?
Yeah, I'm glad that she spoke up. I never really, put any blame on her. I knew she was, the picture was taken of her, so obviously it was the person who, captioned it, took the picture, was involved. We just didn't know to what extent she was involved, so I'm glad she kind of spoke up about it. She wasn't, afraid to let everyone know, like, hey, I know I'm in the picture. I know I'm kind of the face of, this big incident, but, I don't condone it in any way. So I'm glad that she spoke with you guys, and the whole school kind of sees her side of the story.
So you're understanding?
Yes.
Chereace, why don't people, in your opinion, take the Black Lives Matter movement seriously?
I think the biggest reason is because they hear Black Lives Matter and they put an only in front of it, like only Black Lives Matter, and that's not the case at all. People say all lives matter kind of, in reaction to Black Lives Matter, and you have to remember that all lives don't matter until Black lives do, and we're kind of seeing a gap between, how Black people are treated in this country in regards to everybody else. So that's kind of what the movement is about. We want everyone to recognize our humanity, our existence, and we just don't want to be killed. That's it. We're not trying to exclude ourselves from everybody. We're just trying to be included. That's basically what the message is about.
Do you feel threatened on this campus? You say you don't want to be killed. Do you feel threatened here in Hampden?
Oh, I've never felt threatened. If I did, I wouldn't go here. I've been here I'm a senior. I've been here 4 years. I've never felt like, I know people might view me differently on this campus, or maybe they have different perspectives, but I've never in any way felt threatened. It's just something that I've kind of had to deal with, and that's life in a way. Some people might not agree with your perspectives or might not agree with who you are, but you can only try to educate or make them aware. So.
Going forward, do you think Sarah Goodrich is a good outlet, is a good avenue to kind of pair up with her and maybe have her with your team by your side to try to make, things get better around this campus?
Of course, we would love to work with her if she's willing, to kind of get our message across. We have the Black Lives Matter initiative going forward, and it would be great to have her on our side because, that's the biggest thing. We want, to team up with, we don't want it to just be minorities leading the movement. We want, other people's input as well. So I think, having her would be great.
When do you meet on campus? Usually where, just to let people know so they can come out and help you guys if they wish? We
meet every other week, so every other Wednesday at 9:15 in CAS 3205. So if anyone wants to be put on the email list and get reminders about it, or they can go to the Do You QU page and ask to join the organization. We'll send out reminders of when we're meeting, or if we have any events coming up. That's it.
So CAS 3, room 205 on Wednesday nights at 9:15, every other Wednesday. So if anyone watching this interview wants to come out and help your organization.
Yes. And anyone is welcome to come. A lot of people have had concerns, like, is this just specifically for minorities? No, NAACP likes to work with everyone, so.
You're a senior. We were talking briefly before. You said you were just a general member for the first 3 years.
Yes.
What made you want to be president?
There was a need for a president, and I felt like, as a senior, I kind of wanted big change on this campus. Going from where I was as a freshman to, as a senior, I wanted to kind of get moving with a lot of things, a lot of race relations that have been kind of arising on this campus. So I thought it would be great to kind of be at the front of that, change.
We've only been here at school for a couple weeks, but any momentum going forward with any of your initiatives yet?
Oh yes, a lot, and I'm very excited about it. We have a Halloween campaign in the works, My Culture is Not a Costume, which is kind of, and we've done it in the past, but it's good to kind of reiterate it this semester, just in terms of what happened. And we're working with we want to work with a lot of bigger organizations on campus, not just, stick to, multicultural organizations.
Who are some of those?
So we've worked with SGA in the past. It would be great if we can work with, maybe Greek organizations, or I don't know, some of, the bigger ones on campus.
After the Snapchat kind of went viral, a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people on Facebook said they don't want to send their children here. What's your message to some of those prospective students, parents, on a day today in which Quinnipiac has an open house?
I would say don't let what you see in the news dictate what your feelings are about the school and your choice to come here. I would say make that decision on your own. Do a tour, maybe talk to the students at the school, talk to some of the faculty, see what their experiences are. I wouldn't say don't come here just based off of that one incident. It is something to take into account, but I wouldn't say let it dictate your choice of going here. I would put together a lot of experience before.
Because it's hard, for prospective students and parents not to see that, especially, down on main campus by the Arnold Bernard Library, there are, a number of African American students dressed in all black today. You think their message is going to be portrayed?
I think so, and I think, people coming to open house, they've seen Quinnipiac in the news, and they hear a lot of students reacting to it, and I think that's great that QU is letting students have a voice, and if anything, that adds on to the campus, that students are able to speak up about certain things that they're worried about, and we do have outlets on campus to make others feel comfortable. So if they are worried about race issues on this campus, we know we do have a way to become a community and to kind of support each other and help each other.
Chereace, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.